The South Shore Line commuter service provides a vital link between Indiana's northwest counties along the southern shore of Lake Michigan and Chicago's Loop. The South Shore Line's eastern terminus is in South Bend, Indiana, 90 miles east of Chicago. A unique element of the modern-day railroad is its direct connection to the Michiana Regional Airport.
Hi.
One way to Chicago.
940.
On their journey to Chicago, the trains roll through the rural countryside of St. Joseph County, the same as they did in the early 1900s. The journey continues through the woods and rolling hills of LaPorte County and past the South Shore's Maintenance Facility and Operations Center in Michigan City. On the way to Chicago, the railroad travels through the natural beauty of Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore in Porter County, also the home of the Port of Indiana, providing Indiana with deep water access through the St. Lawrence Seaway to world markets. Lake County is the home to several integrated steel facilities and major commuter stations like Gary Metro Center, East Chicago Station, Hammond Station, across the state line into Illinois to the neighborhood Hegewisch Rail Station on the far southeast side of Chicago, and then on to downtown Chicago via the Kensington interlocking with the Metro Electric District, the same vital connection to Chicago established in 1909. The Metro Electric is a grade-separated rail corridor serving the University of Chicago and Museum of Science and Industry at 57th Street. The Metro Electric provides direct access to McCormick Place, one of the largest convention and exhibition venues in the country. Immediately north of McCormick Place is Roosevelt Road, the gateway to Chicago's world-class museum campus located at the south end of Grant Park. From Van Buren Street Station, commuters reach the South Loop and the Art Institute of Chicago. The final stop is Randolph Street Station, the gateway to the north end of the Loop and Michigan Avenue. For jobs and shopping, South Shore Line passengers can walk or transfer to Chicago Transit Authority trains and buses. The South Shore Line is more than a railroad and linked to Chicago. From its early beginnings as a fledgling interurban, through numerous bankruptcies, economic cycles, and wars, the South Shore, as an institution, has faithfully served the transportation needs of Northwest Indiana. In 1925, the railroad was purchased in bankruptcy by legendary railroad and utilities tycoon Samuel Insull and immediately infused with new capital, led by visionary managers like Sam Insull Jr., Britton Budd, J. Samuel Hart, and William P. Colleton. The railroad was able to navigate the often turbulent economic cycles of the region through a skillful balance of freight and passenger service. Credit must also be given to thousands of skilled craftsmen, laborers, and transportation service professionals who made certain the railroad continued operating through nearly a century of service. In the 1960s, Chessie purchased the South Shore. However, after years of mounting passenger service losses, the Chessie petitioned the Interstate Commerce Commission to abandon passenger service in the mid-1970s.
C&O is dealing with stockholders' money, therefore they have to be prudent businessmen. They've had a very successful year in '74, but they've been prudent business people. That's one of the reasons they've had a good year. Now, putting additional funds into a losing business is not prudent business management. The railroad simply cannot see investing additional money into a losing operation, which the South Shore Passenger Service is.
Understanding the importance of the South Shore to Northwest Indiana, the state of Indiana passed enabling legislation in 1977, allowing St. Joseph, LaPorte, Porter, and Lake counties to create the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District, or NICTD. NICTD immediately took action to replace the 1920s passenger cars, improve and enlarge the maintenance facility, upgrade the power distribution system, and began the long process of completely rebuilding the railroad to make up for years of deferred maintenance. The The South Shore Line provides safe, convenient, reliable, and affordable transportation to millions of annual passengers and thousands of daily commuters to and from Chicago. The rush hour on the South Shore Line is as crowded as most commuter services in the U.S. The low-level boarding at busy stations means the dwell times can be long. NICTD has a goal of installing high-level platforms at its busiest stations to speed up service. Ridership has increased steadily since NICTD took a role in South Shore Line service. Ridership increased from a late 1970s low of 1.7 million annual passengers to 25 years later, a record-breaking high of 3.8 million passengers. The Van Buren Street and Randolph Street stations in downtown Chicago are close to the heart of the business district. The South Shore offers access to a downtown Chicago job market with 500,000 employees concentrated within a 1-mile radius of the Randolph Street station. Each year, South Shore passengers bring over $170 million back into Indiana. This rail access nearly doubles the job opportunities found in northern Indiana. To meet passenger demand, new parking lots have been built and expanded again. Operating an electric railroad in northwest Indiana has its challenges. High summer heat and humidity push air conditioning, rail, and power systems to their design limits. Winter, however, is the real test of man and machine, as temperatures drop quickly to sub-zero in a matter of hours. Frigid weather can cause rail breaks and pull-aparts. Track maintenance crews are quickly dispatched to heat the rail, insert new fasteners, and correct the problem. In rare instances, treacherous lake effect conditions have paralyzed the service. Ice can rapidly accumulate on aerial signal wire and catenary. The sheer weight of the ice, coupled with severe winds, can snap pole lines, damage steel support structures, and cripple the signal and power systems. Drifting and blowing snow can also wreak havoc on a car's sensitive mechanical components. To combat these challenges, NICTD's highly experienced electrical, mechanical, and track maintenance personnel will work around the clock to restore service. To ensure equipment reliability, all of the 1982 fleet are undergoing midlife rehabilitation in Michigan City. This multi-million-dollar investment will improve reliability and performance by either replacing or reconditioning mission-critical systems. To improve operating efficiency and reduce maintenance cycles, all cars are retrofitted with AC propulsion systems. Managing this complex project is not easy and requires the cooperation of skilled craftsmen and engineering staffs. Greg Yovich, NICTD's Assistant Chief Mechanical Officer, explains NICTD's approach.
One of the most important things that we've done here is to develop teams. We've got the same people that do the same tasks for every car. It's helped cut our time down considerably. People have a tendency to get better doing what they're doing by doing it over and over again. We've also found that certain people, for instance, a carman should be able to weld, a carman should be able to work with bolts, he should be able to rebuild various components.
This is a set of pin boxes that came off a car that we brought in for one of our midlife projects. And what we do is we take the boxes off, the guys downstairs do that, they bring the parts up here and we rebuild them. This is what it's going to look like, the face of it's going to look like when we're done. Then the box itself will sandblast and repaint it and everything when we're done with it, so it'll look like new. And I'll have a lot of new stuff in it when it goes in. These are all new pins. There's springs behind the pin, all new wiring, new plugs, everything. Everything is brand new on this. If you don't have this, you can't make the next car in line do what you want it to.
Besides keeping the rolling stock in good repair, NICTD must also devote resources to fixed assets. The track structure undergoes routine inspection and regular maintenance to provide a safe and smooth ride. The entire railroad is fitted with welded rail from Chicago to South Bend. For passenger convenience, new stations have been built at South Bend, Dune Park, Ogden Dunes, Miller, Hammond, and Hegewisch. The historic Insel-era station at Beverly Shores was restored to its original glory and now houses a museum as well as a waiting room. The busiest station in Indiana is East Chicago. NICTD is building a new passenger station that will include high-level boarding platforms. Metra is also in the process of completely rebuilding the interior of the Randolph Street station. This long-anticipated project will make the station a true gateway to downtown Chicago. A railroad is never finished. Already, much of the South Shore Line has been rebuilt by NICTD. A major capital program and safety enhancement has been the replacement of several truss bridges dating back to the railroad's opening in 1908. These bridge projects presented numerous challenges as NICTD strove to maintain service throughout the construction process, even in single-track territory. Coordinating with power and pipeline companies, local and state highway departments, and major freight railroads kept engineers and contractors on task. To keep service impacts to a minimum, most demolition and removal occurred on weekends. A major undertaking is the replacement of the South Shore signal system with CTC, or Centralized Traffic Control. This will be a phased project over the next 3 to 5 years. The aim is to improve operating flexibility and reliability. Part of the project includes a modern control center in Michigan City to replace the vintage dispatching office in current operation. A fiber optic system will serve as the communications backbone of the new system, as well as provide immediate audio and video links to station platforms and parking facilities. NICTD plans to further enhance reliability by installing constant tension catenary. The current fixed attachment system is over 75 years old and the single leading cause of major service disruptions. Like the CTC project, this multi-million-dollar investment will be coordinated to limit construction-related service impacts. An exciting part of the future is the possible expansion of commuter rail service along the west side of Lake County and on to Valparaiso and eventually to the southern Lake County community of Lowell. This project will come into play when the present upgrading and improvement of the South Shore Line is completed and West Lake funding is put in place. As NICTD looks to the future, it draws strength from the South Shore's past. Much has changed over the years. The orange cars are gone. Interurban flag stops have given way to modern high-density stations. Soon, NICTD will see major changes in its overhead power and signal systems, and the completion of its midlife and AC propulsion projects. Charged with momentum, the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District is carefully investing in the future of Northwest Indiana, making the right choices, moving in the right direction.